Hey guys, Ogalbina here, bringing you guys our IBA Season 6 Round 1 game against Zombie and his Victoria Victinis. Now, Zombie did beat us a couple weeks ago in the IBA. I believe it might have been week 8 in which we played, and he did end up taking home a dub. We didn't bring, like, our best team. I didn't bring, like, a medium team version. I'm not going to say, like, he didn't, objectively beat me. He definitely did. He outplayed us that game. He definitely beat us, but we did hold some sets back, that we're going to be bringing to this game in particular, which I'm really, really excited for. And yeah, hopefully we can take home a dub from this time. He's a very good player. Definitely go check him out in the description below. He's a good buddy of mine as well. But before I jump into this, I do want to mention really quick that only a good 40 to 50% of you guys that are watching the videos each and every time they go up are actually subscribed to the channel. So if you want to do me a huge favor, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's really easy. It's completely free, and you can always change your mind later. And it's would help me push towards my goal of 400 by the end of the year, which I would really appreciate your support on that. On that endeavor. But with that being said, this is where I would normally do a quick little team builder, show you the EVs I'm bringing, the movesets, all the stuff, the items. Unfortunately, though, recently I had a little bit of technical issue with some things for my online classes and my schooling and stuff like that. So tech support actually had me, release like my, delete my search history, my cookies, all that good stuff. So I lost all my teams, and I didn't record the team builder before I did that. So unfortunately, we don't have our team anymore. But I do remember mostly what I brought. So we'll do a quick rundown of the matchup and the rough 6 that I am bringing to this matchup in particular. So our team, if you did forget, consists of Celesteela, Alola Persian, Superior, Mega Diancie, Frogadier, Golbat, Porygon Z, Komodo, Seismitoad, Celesteela, and Reuniclus. While our opponent's team consists of Megalopony, Crobat, Entei, Pikachu, Rotomo, Gligar, Necro, Blastoise, Clefable, Alola and Bronzong. Now, as for the team we are bringing some similar stuff to last time, so we can kind of run over those as, really quick. Half of the team is exactly the same, so we're bringing the same Celesteela set as last time. We are dual stabs with Flamethrower, Sludge Wave, and Toxic. It's a really good way of deterring and breaking down his really fat, annoying team, mainly to take advantage of the Clefable, break down that Muck with the Toxic. That's very, very important for this team, is to wear down Muck in any way, shape, or form that we can. And obviously to break down Bronzong as well. It also serves a decent check to a Rotomo. I can revenge it, and getting a Toxic off on Necro is also amazing because we need chip on that. So Celesteela is very, very important in the sense that it does really break down his really fat balance core in his team and stuff like that. As a whole, we are bringing the same Reuniclus set. We are Psychic, Knockoff, Toxic, and Recover. Very defensive. Rocky Helmet in order to check that Lopunny very well. We could throw our Toxics on things like a Necrozma or an Unaware Clefable, which he actually did end up bringing last time, which makes sense. We have a lot of setup on our team. We have a Komodo as well as sitting on the bench that he definitely was very scared of last time in prep, as we saw. So I actually didn't bring Komodo this time, though, as you can see. Then we have a Autotomized 3 attacks Flyinium Z Celesteela with dual stabs with Flash Cannon, Air Slash, and Flamethrower. This is going to be our main win con. If we can't chip down his team a little bit, this set actually just steamrolls through his team. So that's going to be kind of what we're setting up for in the end game. We are bringing Seismitoad as well. Last time we brought like a really gimmicky Rain Dance Persian with Damp Rock into a Life Orb Seismitoad. This time we're a very defensive Seismitoad. We are Scald, Earth Power, Toxic, and Protect. It's, again, to wear down his team, to be a general nuisance. It's here to also check an Entei that was, didn't end up coming. We can soft check Lopunny as well. We check Muck. Obviously, we don't want to get knocked off because then we lose our lefties before recovery, but regardless, we can take a hit from it pretty easily and throw off a big Earth Power, throw off a Scald, even try and bait a burn on something, even Toxic, and be in a pretty good spot. And then we're bringing a Scarf Porygon Z with Try Attack, Trick, Return, and I believe it is Dark Pulse. I think we're Dark Pulse is the last move. And this set is basically here to either clean up late game. If we can use Celesteela to break, this also can be a great win con in its own right. If we get rid of that Bronzong, we can kind of lock into Try Attack in the end game and really just cleave through my opponent's team. If we have Chip on Clef, we have Chip on Muck. We have Return with Adaptability. If we are playing a very Spadef Muck, we can actually 2-hit KO that thing after Stealth Rock damage, because, it's still hitting it pretty decently hard. And if, Clef starts Calm Minding up and we need to go for returns, and then we'll go for returns. But we also have Trick for that thing, which is really nice as well. And it's a great way of revenging Lopunny with a little bit of chip. It's a great way of revenging Rotom. It's a great revenge killer, and it's a great endgame cleaner, is basically what I'm trying to say. And then lastly, we have our Mega Diancie, which is going to be a Moonblast, Power Gem, Stealth Rock, and Endeavor set. This thing is here to get up rocks. It's here to force in the Bronzong, as it always does. We can pepper with Moonblast, and if we take a little bit of chip from like a Megalophonia high jump kick or something like that, and we can get an Endeavor off on the Bronzong, that's phenomenal. Or if we can bait that Muck to stay in, go for like 2 poison jabs, something like that, and we can get an Endeavor off on that thing, even better. We're looking phenomenal at that point in the game. So yeah, you can see the team that Zombie elected to bring. It's essentially the exact same as last time, except instead of a Crobat, he has the Rotom Mow, which is very nice to see because he was nasty fought Crobat last time and actually put in a lot of work versus us. And I was scared that would come again because he was still very good versus us. But we are going to be able to kind of just jump into this game. Going into it, I am going to lead off with my my Diancie, just because I feel like it gives me a pretty free rocks, unless he leads Bronzong, which I can pivot into and try and play around a little bit. We will be in a good spot, and I think rocks are very important in this game in order to get that residual chip on his annoying fat stuff for that for that Celesteela sweep, for that Porygon Z endgame, and stuff like that, and just, being able to pepper and chip things down throughout the game. So he's going to lead with his Muck. This is completely fine. I know I can't really dent this thing very much, especially if it's AV, but I can get a free rocks, and the more he chips me, the more likely I am able to get an Endeavor off on this Bronzong. Though I did expect him to go into the Bronzong, simply because it is just such a phenomenal check, and there's no reason to take chip on your Muck when you have a full health Zong. So regardless, Rocks is my best play here. We're not getting much out of like a Moonblast play or even Earth Power if we had it. Definitely wasn't the move there. So we are going to get up our Rocks here. I am going to pivot out of my Diancie right here into my Seismitoad, just because I can take any Steel move this thing wants to go for. I can take a Psychic move. I can take an Earthquake if he wants to go for that. So he's going to elect to get up a Rocks of his own. Completely fair, we're going to trade right here, which means Rocks are pretty much up to stay this game. I do not have, I wish I was sub Endeavor on my Diancie in that case, because that would have been, like, amazing. But I don't have removal, as he's actually going to reveal the Grass Knot as we go for a Scald just to pepper this thing. And that's a really, really good bring on Zombie's part, knowing that last time I was an offensive Seismitoad, and I would have definitely knocked out an offensive Toad. And I used this thing as kind of fodder to really break through his team. So that's definitely a smart bring on Zombie's part. It's unfortunate because we are going to lose our Seismitoad, as I'm just going to stay in, try and get a little bit of chip off, and bait for Skull Burn, basically, unfortunately. If I could get that, that would have been really good in keeping this thing low, because it wouldn't be getting residual lefties every turn. But nonetheless, we are going to unfortunately go down. And I apologize for the background. I didn't do the Stitcher replay right for the background, so every once in a while you're going to see, like, a weird back screen in the sky instead of, an actual sky. But for the most part, it doesn't really matter too much. As right here, I am going to be able to go out into my Salazzle. Right here, I am kind of forced to click Flamethrower, just due to the Mind Games of last game. He was actually heat-proof. And I want to make sure I ensure a lot of damage off on this thing, if at all possible, as he is going to go into his Muck. This is unfortunate, because if I could have subbed down, I would have been in a much better spot, just being a general nuisance to this thing, as I am going to throw off a Flamethrower, get a decent chunk, revealing he's not Assault Vest, or he's not very invested in Assault Vest, and we get the burn. And this is very, very unfortunate for Zombie. This is going to cancel out his Black Sludge, so obviously he isn't lefties, we know that now. But this is also going to very much so weaken this thing to where it's not a big threat, honestly, at all. As I am going to pivot out of my Salazzle, there's no reason to leave it in and let it get knocked off. Go back out into my Mega Diancie, trying to bait some hits off on me, trying to get hit a little bit, as he does end up going for a rest, which is definitely a very, very cool brig on Zombie's part. Instead of relying on the berry, he's just going to be Rest Sleep Talk, because this also gets around me trying to status him down with my Salazzle, as I did bring a Subtoxic set last time as well. So definitely a smart bring, as I am going to double out right here. I double out into my Salazzle, thinking that he's going to want to go Bronzong by via the same logic as before, in the sense that he has a full health Bronzong, or at least close to it, and there isn't much I can do to touch it with a Diancie. So I figured he would want to try and get that thing in, because I don't switch into it very well either at this point in the game, and I didn't want to be in a bad spot there, as he's actually going to elect to stay in though. Which is very interesting, revealing that he is Sleep Talk. I'm assuming he's Rest Sleep Talk, will stab, jab, and knockoff, probably Poison Touch as its ability, and he does get the knockoff, which is unfortunate. I am going to go down to 1 HP right here. Now, if I was Endeavor Salazzle, we'd be chilling, but unfortunately we're not, so I'm just going to stay in, try and get some last-ditch Flamethrower chip off on this thing, as Salazzle can't switch into rocks. So me being a little bit over-aggressive comes to bite me in the ass again, just like it did in the game versus Zombie the first time, where we tried to get a rocks with our Komodo, and he just 2-hit Gyarados with a high jump kick on his lot. But completely fine. I am going to, sack this thing off, and obviously do a knockoff. He does get 2 of them, which is unfortunate, because if he didn't get it, we could have forced him to do another rest turn. If he got really unlucky with rest talk rolls, we could have even 1v1 that thing, which is pretty hilarious. But I'm going to take this as an opportunity to go into my Celesteela. I'm going to go for a Flamethrower, because I figured he wouldn't want to let me set up on this thing. just because it doesn't really touch me all that well. As he is just going to stand and go for a knockoff. Maybe he didn't think I would be the same set as last time, but you're going to see that absolutely bounces off of our Celesteela. So I am going to stand. I am going to go for an air slash. I'm just seeing if I can bait a flinch, seeing exactly what he wants to go for. He's going to go for another knockoff, which is, again, very interesting because he should be in range of 2 air slashes at this point, based on that damage. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to totemize, expecting him to want to pivot out into his Zong, into something else on his team, his Necro, something like that, just so I can get the jump on it and be faster than it, as he is just going to stay in and rest versus me. And I see this as a golden opportunity to either break through his team like crazy, or kill his Muck, which basically means that my Reuniclus can kind of beat everything 1v1 in his team. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to go for my Z-Fly, because Z-Fly can potentially knock him out with a Flash Cannon Air Slash after, or we can at least 2-hit KO him, and that'll have, obviously he can't rest up in these turns because he hasn't burned a turn of sleep yet up to this point. So I am going to go for my Supersonic Sky Strike, doing a good chunk to this thing regardless of what happens, but you're going to see right here, I do get a crit, and this is amazing for me. This is going to basically ensure that I get a boost right here very, very easily, because he can't really pivot around me anymore at this point too. I can just flamethrower through him. As he does get the rest on his Sleep Talk, you're going to see this is actually very important, as you're going to see going forward, because it lets me keep a lot of health on my Mon, to where he can't fake out shuffle me as effectively as he did the first game. As I am just going to go flamethrower. It did knock it out from that range, and that's going to cover like a strong gun pivot, trying to like not let me set up. I mean, I don't think he would make that play, but regardless, I'm going to be able to get the +1, as out comes the Necro. Now, I know Necro can kill me with a Heat Wave. I could probably even kill me with a Power Gem, just like a Life Orb from this point. But regardless, I'm going to stay in and get off an Air Slash. I don't have great ways to break this down, and being that the Muck is gone, when this thing is gone, my Reuniclus like guaranteed leads the game, as I do end up getting the flinch. And this, essentially, at this point, this is going to get it to +2/+2. This is essentially going to potentially seal the game. Zombie's only play at this point is to go into his Lopunny, do what he did last game versus our Celesteela, which ended up working out because we were a little bit lower in health and he had more sacks in the back. But he's going to go into his Lopunny, and he's going to have to start Fake Out cycling. He's going to start having to click Fake Out, switch out, sack a Pokemon, Fake Out, switch out, sack a Pokemon, Fake Out, switch out, sack a Pokemon, and hope that it does enough damage to put me in range of the rest of his team and things like that. So that is going to be what happens right here. He's going to fake me out right here, as I do just, obviously stay in. I am going to go for an Air Slash this turn. Based on his HP investment, +2 Flash Cannon wouldn't have knocked him out after one switch into rocks, but regardless, Air Slash into another move will knock something out. He does go into the Bronzong. Thankfully, we hit, because if we didn't hit and he was heat-proof, we potentially could have not knocked him out, which would have been super bad, like ridiculously bad, because he would have been able to get off enough chip to where Lopunny could potentially, fake out Shuffle Us and stuff like that from here on out. But he is going to reveal a Protect, getting a little bit of lefties back, definitely a fair play, as I am just going to click Flamethrower from here on out, and hopefully pick up this KO. Though at +2, we should be able to. Heatproof doesn't make him resist fire, it just makes him neutral to it, and we are +2 special attack, and we are a modest Celesteela, as we do pick up the KO. Excuse me. And what that's going to do, it's going to allow me to get to +3 special attack, which means I can just Flash Cannon through everything else. Flash Cannon / Flamethrower. I Flamethrower the Rotom. I Flash Cannon this in the Clefable. And from there, I'll be in a very, very solid position. So he is going to go for a Fake Out. Basically, what he has to hope for is that he gets a crit on one of these Fake Outs, because if he does, it will put me in range of the next one. And that would obviously be really unfortunate. But what he's going to have to do right here is he is going to have to pivot out into his Rotom, as I am just going to click Flash Cannon and do a ridiculous amount of this thing. I mean, obviously we are +3 special attack at this point, but that is a resisted hit coming off of Celesteela right there to a pretty nicely bulky Mon in the Rotom. And right there, we are just going to get off the Flash Cannon chip. I am going to go for a Flamethrower right here. I don't think he's going to risk me going for another Flash Cannon and go into his Lopunny, and we could potentially knock it out as well from a +3 special attack range. And I couldn't really tell if that was a roll or not in-game. In hindsight, it doesn't look like it really was. It looks like we pretty clearly knocked him out, but there's no reason to risk that, because now we're at +4, and now the entire team is going to drop. So right here, he's going to go back out into his Lopunny, and he has to get a crit right here, because it will knock us out from this point. But if not, we put him in a checkmate position, as he's going to Fake Out. He does not get the crit, and what this is going to do is it's going to seal the game. Zombie's going to end up forfeiting right here. I do feel really bad. The reason he ended up forfeiting isn't out of the game. It's because he physically couldn't win the game there. If he decided to So his only way of even lowering diff would be obviously to go hard Clefable as I flash cannon. I 2-hit KO or knock out the Clefable. If the Clefable is unaware, I 2-hit KO it pretty easily. If it's and I don't think he was unaware based on how he was playing that, because he could have used it to get like some pepper chip off on me to put me in range of a fake out. But regardless, I 2-hit KO'd it from that range, even if it was unaware, especially after rocks. So the Clefable would have to come in, get sacked, and then he goes Lopunny and fake outs and picks me off. And then I just go into Reuniclus and click Psychic, because there's absolutely nothing Lopunny can do at that point in time in the game. So obviously he was kind of in a checkmate position. If he gave me the Lopunny and he went Clef, I just flash cannon the turn after. And again, I'm in a great spot. There's not really much I can do. I still have Trick in the back if he wants to be set up, which is obviously really nice. I still have my Diancie to potentially endeavor it if I take enough hits. There's definitely plenty of options for us to win that game, and there wasn't really a way for him to bring that back. I feel really bad. Zombie, like I said, he's a great player. He's a good buddy of mine, and he has had some really bad luck in Mons lately. Like, he has been incredibly unlucky in the games in which he's played, so I feel bad kind of hacking him out a little bit here in this game. Getting that crit with the Celesteela, and him getting those bad sleep talk rolls at the end. Though, to be fair, he did get some pretty good ones early on, but regardless, it's still not a fun way to go out, especially in playoffs, so I really do apologize to him. Big shout to him. He played well. I don't think there's much else he could have done in this game. And not to say like, I played out of my mind. He was just, I was just better than him in this game. No, I think he got pretty boned in the luck department there, though. So I do apologize, Zombie. I hope we get to play again soon. I hope we have a little bit more of a clean game. I was hoping we get matched up in what do you call it, APA Legacy this week, but unfortunately we didn't. But Zombie's a great guy. Definitely, go show him some love. I would really appreciate it. And yeah, that's gonna mean we move on to semifinals. We will be playing either Silver Smasher or Kurt the Buzzwole, which means our playoff run is basically like a gauntlet of running through coaches we have lost to, pretty much guaranteed at least until finals. If we do end up, hopefully making that, we would play either Silver in semis or Kurt. Both of them beat us in back-to-back weeks earlier in the regular season. Zombie obviously beat us a couple weeks ago as well. So all three of our losses are on our side of the playoff bracket, which is pretty funny. But hopefully we can put together a nice little run despite having, lost all these coaches and bring home a nice Gen 7 Wi-Fi championship, which I actually don't have a Wi-Fi championship in Gen 7, so I really hope we do. We are able to get. Actually, I don't have a Wi-Fi championship in general. All of my championships are on Showdown leagues. It's almost like I was talking about this in my update video. I suck on Wi-Fi, but we're doing well here, and I'd like to keep it going. But thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, go ahead and hit sub if you haven't done so already. Pushing to 400, and it's super easy, and you can always change your mind later, and I'd really appreciate it. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.